Hey, this is Raven, and today I'm going to talk about my mental health disorders or diagnosis. Um, I have a screen over here that tells me what they all are, because I'll forget, because I suck at remembering. It's part of one of my diagnoses. Um, one that I have six things that are that I'm or I have four things that I'm diagnosed with, two that I think I have, and one condition that I think masks the other two that I think I have. The first thing that I want to talk about is my eye condition. I have a degenerative genetic eye disorder called retinitis pigmentosa, and I think it's part of the reason why a lot of people think that I don't have the next two that I'm going to be talking about, which is ADHD and autism. Um, I started thinking I had autism whenever first I thought I had ADHD, but then I thought maybe I had autism because of the way I was writing Hunter in Bright Spots. Um, I wrote him having multiple meltdowns and depression and all this other stuff, and it's I channeled what all he has through what I have. Like I have meltdowns and I'm very depressed. That's another one of my conditions. I'm severely depressed and have severe anxiety. Um, and I do have that diagnosis for those two. I was going to do this very linear, very structured, but it's not turning out that way. And there is a glaring light in my face, so I'm sorry if I don't keep looking at the screen, at the camera. But the other two diagnoses that I have is very stigmatized, and that's the first one is bipolar 2, which is instead of having manic episodes where I'm all over the place and very hyper, I have it's instead of having hypermanic episodes where I'm all over the place and very hyper, I have hypomanic episodes where I'm pretty much very depressed and lethargic. And if you want to know all of the stuff about bipolar 2, you can look it up. I haven't done that. I mean, I have for myself. It's just been a while and I can't remember. The other thing that I have is borderline personality disorder, and I have looked that up because that is very stigmatized and mistaken for borderline personality. Borderline personality disorder is what I have. It's very mistaken for um, split personality disorder, which I do not have. But I'm going to tell you what borderline personality disorder, symptoms of it, and pretty much what it means. It's a fear of abandonment, which I do have, um, unstable relationships, which I have had, unstable relationships, which I have had in the past, um, unclear or shifting self image, which I have. Um, I'm very, yeah. Impulsive or self destructive behaviors. I am impulsive to a point, but I'm also very indecisive. So I don't have any destructive behaviors like alcohol or smoking or any kind of drugs or anything like that. So that's not part of it. But I am impulsive, but I also um, am very cautious with what I do. And I've learned that over the years is do I really need this stuff and stuff like that? Do I really want to do this and stuff? Um, a big one that I do have is self harm. I used to self harm a lot. I don't as much anymore. And I don't in the same way that I used to. I'm not going to go into detail about that. Um, Extreme mood swings. I do get rather moody, but it's more depressive moods, and um, there's also chronic feelings of emptiness, which I have all the time. Um, the last one that they have on this list that I can see is explosive anger, which I do not have, as far as I know. I do get upset sometimes, but it's not explosive, and I don't lash out. But back to the autism and ADHD diagnosis. I think you can tell by these videos, which is why I wanted to do this video, that I don't really look at the camera and I do a lot of fidgeting. And I wanted to explain why I do that. So this is not me trying to play off on as somebody who's autistic or has ADHD. This is how I really am. That's why I don't edit my videos that much, because I want people to see the authentic me. And a lot of the times I have trouble trying to get my words out of my mouth. I have the words in my head, but they don't want to come out. And that's another reason why I started typing, why I started writing, because I couldn't get the words out of my mouth, so I just wrote them down on paper. And it was much easier. If you have any questions about any of these diagnoses or anything like that, just leave them in the comments, or look up the vast amount that's on YouTube. That's also helped me realize that I may be autistic and have ADHD. Um, I did go in for the diagnosis of ADHD first, and it came back that I was borderline for ADHD, most likely autistic. And he also gave me the bipolar 2 diagnosis. And then I went in for an autism test, and they came back that I was not autistic, which I may get a second opinion from that one. I don't know. I don't know if I care to or not, because that one was very short and it was still kind of draining on me. Just the ride there and the ride back, and then finding out that she thought I was not autistic, even after talking. Well, we didn't talk for more than like 5 minutes, and I didn't talk for more than 5 minutes with the guy that gave me the ADHD diagnosis either. So it's very annoying, frustrating the way it was handled, and I don't know if I want to do it again. But yeah, leave comments in the questions in the comments below. I would love to hear from anyone. I only have one subscriber. I'd love to get more. I'm going to do a separate video on what my channel is going to be about on Monday. So look forward to that one, because it's a lot. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.